Hello, YouTube. Happy Friday from Australia. And if you're American and you're watching this and you're still on the 8th, happy Lionsgate as well. Yesterday, I went live and I was talking about harnessing the power of the Lionsgate and manifestation and the real spiritual, energetic side, but also pairing that with being able to reprogram your identity at a subconscious level, which is equally as important as bringing your manifestations. But today's live is inspired by a conversation with one of my clients, as these lives usually are, and it was around the mindset of success. Like, if you had to really refine and get to the nitty gritty, and something that I've reflected on over the past couple of years, of more than a couple of years actually, of what the mindset of success is. There are many different elements, but having the mindset of conviction. When you have a vision for your life, for the lifestyle that you want to create, when you have a vision for the things that you want to bring into the 3D physical reality, when you have a vision for exactly the type of money you want, the business, the career, the relationships, the health, you also need to be convicted in those things. I reflect back on my own journey, particularly in the past 5 years of beginning a business quite literally from scratch. I quit my job, I moved to Bali, I started this business from scratch. And one of the things that has truly kept me going is, and I think on this as well as having faith, but having this mindset of conviction, like being really convicted in exactly what I wanted to create and allowing everything else to dissolve beneath you, allowing everything else to fall to the wayside because it doesn't matter. It's not something that you value. It's not something that is inspiring to you. And I think that's what most people miss, is they want to create something big, but they're so afraid to cut loose and let go of things that aren't serving them, things that have been comfortable for them for a long time. And that's how I was. Before this, I've been in this business now for 5 years, but before this, I had this big vision that I wanted to start a business, that I wanted to connect with women all over the globe, but I wasn't convicted into it, and I wasn't doing it through ways that was inspiring or the ways that I valued. And so I didn't make it a priority. And when we don't make things a priority, but we feel like we're trying really hard towards the success we want, it's because we're so comfortable in the box that we've put ourselves in, or the box that we've allowed other people to put ourselves in. And so if you were working towards something, especially as we are at the second half of the year, I look back on my own results, my client results. I definitely believe that the second half of the year, I see my client and it's crazy to think this, because over the past couple of years, in the first half, my clients get big results, especially this year. It's just wow. But in the second half, I see this enormous momentum that I want you to capitalize on. But you need to be convicted in what you want. You need to have the faith. You need to know and have this burning desire, especially in the moments where things aren't working out, where you get no after no after no, where you hit failure after failure after failure, and it feels like everything I'm trying, no matter what I'm doing, isn't working. You need to be convicted into what you want to grow. And this is why it's so important. And I went live a couple of nights ago with someone else and was saying this is why in the work I do with my clients, it is so important that you create a long-term vision, you create a long-term legacy. It's not just wanting these short-term instant wins, the instant gratifications. We're creating a legacy. We're looking at what we want to create, not just in the next 6 to 12 months, in the next 5 years, the 10 years. How do we want to feel? What's the movement we're creating with our business or our career and our relationships? And be convicted in that, because that is going to drive you when you have the connection with that. The people, the high achievers and the success driven women that come and work with me, and it's like nothing seems to work or it's not flowing in the way I want, I'm like, are you really convicted in what you're telling me? Do you have the full faith, the mindset that it's going to work out, and that no matter how many no's you get, no matter how many fails that you have, you're going to stick through it because you're inspired by it, you're connected to it, it's your mission here. And if you're not, if you waver, if you falter, if you feel like, no, I'm I don't have that faith, or like there's a big part of me that doesn't believe in this, or a big part of me that just thinks I'm going to fail, or it's the, the too hard basket, it's not something you're deeply connected to. And when I look back, not only on my clients but myself, anything that I've kind of allowed to fall to the wayside and I haven't connected with, it isn't that important to me. It's not something that I want to put my time, my energy, and my resources into. But the things, even if they don't work time and time again, and I get no's and I get failures and it feels like nothing's working, there is something in me that's like, I am adjusting. I say this often: fail fast and fail quickly. And when you learn from that, but you know that what you're working towards, like your long-term vision and legacy, is exactly what you desire, and it is you, it's an extension of you, you will find the reasons to keep working towards it. And no matter what barriers of success you come up against, no matter what is happening, you will find the ways to overcome that, and you'll be so convicted in what you want to create. So this is just a reminder that if you're working towards something, it's like, for it to work, you need to have the faith, you need to have the conviction that it's going to work. You need to fully believe with your entire heart, your entire soul, that it is going to work, no matter what barriers you come up with, whatever roadblocks you come up with. It is something that you can fully put your time, energy, and resource in, and you feel inspired, you feel lit up by it. It's something that drives your soul. There's far too many people in the world who just do things because they've always done it. They just stay in jobs, or they create businesses because it's how they started it, or it's what they've known, or it's what they've been told is the right thing. Stop doing that to yourself. Look for the things that are truly inspiring you. Look for the things that you actually value. I go through this process with my private clients. I just gave one of my clients feedback on this, on her own goals and values. And it's not just like, I have a goal to make money and I value respect from people. Like, that's just such surface level shit. It's getting deeper than that. And the people who aren't in tune with what they value, what inspires them, what their long-term vision is, are the people that will stay in cycles. It's only when you face the subconscious cycles and the patterns and the behaviors, and you actually go, like, doing the work isn't listening to a podcast or even this YouTube video or reading a book. Doing the work is actually taking action and executing on the things that make you uncomfortable and the things you're afraid to face, and getting really, really curious about who you are, getting really, really curious about who you are, why you do what you do. That's when you understand yourself. The whole part of my methodology, the Woman Mastery Method, is about mastering yourself as a woman. To master yourself is to understand yourself, is to get really, really curious on everything that you're doing. When you bring that curiosity to the table with this mindset of conviction and wanting to move and move big, you will create big things in your life. You will create massive amounts of success, whatever success means to you. But if you don't have this, and you're not connected to yourself, and you haven't mastered yourself, and you have no idea why you do what you do, and you just accept it, and you say to yourself, like, this is just who I am, or this is how I've always been, which, by the way, I've said that time and time again in the past, is you will never move, you will never change. The root of it all, and with my methodology, is getting to, like, who are you at the core of your identity? Because that core identity, that programming right there, is creating everything that you're bringing into it. And that is creating your vision, that is creating your goals, that is creating your desires and your version of success. And so the key really is here is, yes, having the mindset of conviction, but being convicted in who you are as a person. And when that is faltered, when you don't have a relationship with yourself, when you don't get curious about yourself, when you don't understand why you do what you do, and you're using, like, self-love and resources like podcasts, or a hot girl walk or a Pilates class, as ways to, like, heal yourself and ways to understand, that isn't getting to the root of who you truly are and what you do. And this is why so many people, yes, they may be high achieving, yes, they may be success driven, but they actually don't achieve what they want to do, because they do everything on the surface level. They do everything on a surface level and wonder why things aren't changing, wonder why they're not getting to the root of, why they're not manifesting or attracting or getting the success they want, however you want to put it. And instead, they are staying exactly the same, because they either try to add different habits or they try to say positive things out loud. Like, you need to get to the subconscious of what your identity is at the core, and then follow it into everything else I've said in this live. And I know I went on a bit of a tangent there, but it's all interconnected. And I think the most important thing to take away from this is like building an identity that is truly convicted in what you want in life and what you're creating in life, and keep going for it. Keep going. And if you're watching this and you're resonating with this, you're someone, you want big success, you want massive amounts of wealth and abundance and relationships and experiences, and you get to have that, but it also doesn't come from you operating from the same exact person as you've always operated from. It just doesn't work like that. And so reprogramming your identity on a subconscious level, which includes your behaviors, which includes your values, which includes your goals, which includes everything that you're doing, that is important to create. I have a free 2-part training in the show notes below called Hack, and I go into some modalities that I actually teach my clients. I think I've got 2 frameworks in there that are taken from client work that I teach in the free training that will help you kind of dissolve these limiting beliefs, but also help you get to the root of why it's like, okay, I've added these new habits or I've started those new things. Why aren't things actually changing for me? Or why do I feel after a month I start to revert back to the same patterns? So get yourself into that free 2-part training. And we do a lot of this identity work as well, and stepping into a new way of being. I've got a masterclass coming up for business owners. It is called Overflow, and it's going from a state of overwhelm to overflow in your business, overflow of sales, overflow of clients, overflow of growth, and just feeling like really good in your business and not feeling like this bogged down, like I have no clarity, I don't know what to do, like this is too much. I highly recommend, if that's what you're feeling currently in your business, that is for you to kind of rejig, recalibrate, but also re-energize the way that you are seeing sales, the way that you are seeing growth in your business, and how to operate from a place of overflow rather than like, I need to, the like lack and scarcity. All of that's in the show notes below. But thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next week for lives. Plus, there will be brand new podcast episodes as well. See you next week. Bye.